Morning, guys. I'm very sad this morning. I woke up with a very heavy heart. I think at 5, and I couldn't sleep. I went and I switched on SABC News, and they were doing a recap of the speech that Cyril Ramaphosa did last night, which I never watched. I don't want to watch him anymore. I woke up with a very heavy heart, and I think even last night I was quite upset. Uh, I don't want to be South African anymore. I don't want to be black anymore. And look, I've left blackness. I left it 2 years ago, but I'm obviously struggling. It's not something that you just snap your fingers and then you kind of exit. South Africa is a failed state. If South Africa was a company, we'd say it's a failed company. And failed company normally need business rescue, and if things get really, really bad, they declare bankrupt, and the company's collapsed. That's how a company works. South Africa is at that level, and some people have said it in the media. Of course, South Africa is a failed state, and we don't really know what that means. To me, I think from a business perspective, it's straightforward. If the business is running at a loss, at a major loss for a long period, and it's constantly living off debts that it can't pay back, that company has failed. That's where South Africa is now. Finance Minister Enoch Godongwane was speaking about how in the last decade, our debt has almost doubled. I think from 1.9 trillion, and I don't know if it's rands or dollars, to 4 point something, I think, or 3 point something, 3.8 maybe trillion. Either rands or dollars, it doesn't matter because, I mean, for a normal South African, what do those numbers actually mean? We've got a national budget which is about 2 trillion rand every year. 40% of it goes to paying salaries for public workers. 40%, almost half of it. Huge chunk of it, I'm not sure of the percentage right now, goes to social welfare. Social welfare is the nice English term for charity, basically. It's people that can't do for themselves, so they need to rely on the state for their livelihood. I think 2/3 of our schools, 67%, are no-fee schools, so the parents are not expected to pay school fees. At a lot of those schools, the children get to eat for free. 10% of the population doesn't have medical aid, which means 90% of the population relies on public hospitals and public clinics, free healthcare. With the social relief for distress grant, the 350 rand that people were getting with COVID, we've now got close to 50% of our population receiving one or other grant. Whether it's a child grant, I think it's 480 rand, or an old age grant pension, which is 1,000, I think it's 1,400. There's veterans grants, there's refugee grants, I think. There's disability grants. And then we've got these 350 social relief for distress. Before them, we had 19 million grant recipients. And with them, we had an additional 10 million people. So that's 29 million. 29.3 million, to be a bit more accurate. We have a country with 60 million people. So 29 million is basically half of the population is getting some or other grant. I know, of course, a lot of the grants are being received via corruption. It means that people don't deserve to get the grants. They've probably lied on their applications, or it's IDs that have been manufactured and fake people that are collecting these things. Some people are dead, but the grants are still being collected by someone because the deaths have not been registered at Home Affairs. South Africa is a failed state, and we have to ask, if South Africa is a failed state and a failed company, who do we blame? And the reason my heart is so sore is because we have to blame everyone. I have to blame myself. And that's probably the most painful part of it. That I have to blame myself and I have to blame people that I love for the failure that this country is today. I found out this morning that we're moving from stage 2 load shedding to stage 4. I found out this morning that we're moving from stage 2 load shedding to stage 4. I think I stand to be corrected, but stage 2 is when the electricity is gone for 2 hours or 2.5 hours. Stage 4 is when it's gone for 4 hours. Or you have 2 sessions of 2 hours each during the day that we don't have power. Eskom is a failure. SAA, South African Airways, failure. Denel, which manufactures our weapons as a country, failure. The SABC, South African Broadcasting Corporation, is a failure. These are state-owned enterprises. It means they're owned by government. They've failed because the African National Congress, the ANC government, has failed. Black leadership has failed. We wanted black leaders. We got them. They failed. They're still failing to this day. Obviously, it's convenient now for Cyril and his people to blame Jacob Zuma for 9 wasted years, of which to date, we're not really sure what it means. They quantify the loss at trillions of rands, but it doesn't make sense, to be honest, when you look at it. Obviously, they blame the Guptas, and we've heard all of that. And we had the Zondo Commission, which never found Jacob Zuma guilty of state capture. I want to emphasize that again, not because I love Jacob Zuma, but because this is important for us to know. The Zondo Commission, which has cost over R1 billion of taxpayers' money, has not found Jacob Zuma guilty of state capture. What it has done is it's found a whole lot of other politicians under the Zuma administration guilty of corruption in various ways, of course. One of them that was implicated was Cyril Ramaphosa, who was given a very big position at Eskom to try and resolve some of the issues. And it came out that Cyril, who owned a company called Shanduga, was working with a Swiss company called Glencore. They were supplying very expensive coal to Eskom at that time. Glencore is still supplying. Nothing has changed. The pricing hasn't changed. The guys who are called Zuma deployees, Brian Molefe, who was the chairman of Eskom, Machela Koko, who was the CEO of Eskom, they tried to renegotiate contracts for coal suppliers at Eskom and they failed. They tried to renegotiate what's called evergreen contracts, where white people from apartheid days were supplying coal at excessive prices. They failed. They wanted to change that because they wanted us to get cheaper coal. It's one of the reasons they funded the Gupta mine so that they could get cheaper coal for Eskom. And for that, they were called captured, of course, because the Guptas were friends with Jacob Zuma and they did business with Jacob Zuma's son, Ututuzane. 9 wasted years. Eskom's issue started when Thabo Mbeki was still president. He was given maintenance reports. Jacob Zuma was his deputy at the time. He was given maintenance reports and they never actioned them. Thabo Mbeki's obsession was with growing the economy, which was great. Let's grow this economy so that we have money for projects. It makes logical sense. But now you're growing an economy that's people who are extremely privileged and have been privileged during at the expense of the black masses still. One of the blemishes on Thabo Mbeki's record is the fact that for a long time he kept ARVs, antiretrovirals, away from South Africans, and we lost a lot of people to HIV AIDS. Of which today now, I have to say sorry. I'm sorry, Tatu Mbeki. Mbeki at the time asked important questions about HIV AIDS. What causes HIV? What about socioeconomic conditions, poverty? What if we ate better? And Dr. Manto Shabalala Msimang came out as Dr. Beetroot. No, let's feed them beetroot and vegetables. And we all laughed. Zapiro, the cartoonist, was making a lot of caricatures laughing at these people. Clownish. People have died. Mbeki was almost called, almost accused of genocide for not giving people ARVs. I'm sorry today because now that I'm older, I now ask similar questions when we are told about a COVID virus. We're told about a coronavirus disease of 2019. And I'm asking the same questions like, is this thing really real? Like, people are dying. Give them the jab. You're acting like Umbegi right now. You're being a denialist. You're an anti-vaxxer. I'm like, but things don't add up. Now jabs are being forced. At that time, Aspen Pharmaceuticals was given the monopoly on ARVs. I think now there's 3 or 4 suppliers. Aspen is owned by a Jewish guy called Stephen Sod. Stephen Sod is one of the funders of Cyril Ramaphosa's presidential campaign. Now with COVID vaccines, Stephen Sod and Aspen are the guys that are manufacturing vaccines for Johnson & Johnson in South Africa again. And now that I'm a bit older and I think a bit more knowledgeable, I now ask the same questions Umbegi was asking. And I'm being attacked like everyone else who's a supposed anti-vax. And I'm like, fuck me. Thabo Mbeki may have been on our throats. And is there a chance that maybe part of the problem is our diet, being vegetables? Why are we taking this medication? We enriched pharmaceuticals and they became billionaires from ARVs. To this day, they make billions of dollars in ARVs. And now they're going to be making more billions of dollars in the COVID vaccine. Thabo Mbeki failed. Grew the economy. Zuma came in, he was a hero because he took all this economic growth and all this money and all this excess money that Mbeki had built and he started pumping it into social welfare programs. We saw grants going up, we saw ARVs getting rolled out. Built 2 universities, built other infrastructure in these, because we're still languishing in poverty, and the social welfare victories have created more beggars and beneficiaries of charity in this country. He failed to transform the nation. He gave us cool people like Chief Justice Mogoeng. He gave us Hlaudi Motsoeneng. He gave us Dudumieni, who exposed that SAA had only 3% black suppliers. Hlaudi tried to enforce a 90% local content agenda at the SABC as the chief operating officer. Obviously, Brian Molefe and Machela Koko, and like I said. And before he left, before he was forced to step down, he transformed Treasury into becoming full black. But he was accused of corruption because of the Guptas, because of so many black business people that had become overnight millionaires during Zuma's administration. But we had nothing to show for it. So Zuma created black millionaires, but where are the businesses? Where's the funding? Where? All those black millionaires are on I Blew It. They blew the money on Shisa Nyamas and Cubania and similar places like that. Dubai, Louis Vuitton and Gucci, looking like fucking clowns who have never seen money before, splurging on Amasimba, not building anything of substance. Nelson Mandela failed because he was an old man, 70 to 75. In 1994, when he became the president of this country, I was 6 years old. I didn't know anything. You know, I thought he was a hero like everyone else. And as I got more knowledgeable and got more exposed, I started reading up about the CODESA negotiations. Started hearing about how he changed his tune with nationalisation after he spoke to Lord Renwick from the UK, and he spoke to, I believe, Margaret Thatcher, and he went to the World Economic Forum, and all of a sudden his tune changed. No longer is he speaking nationalisation of the mines and the banks and the land and taking back the land of this country to give to the people, as was enshrined in the Freedom Charter. Changed his tune. Why? Because now he had white friends, rich white friends, the Oppenheimers, the Dow Stein of Stein City, and an insurance empire, close with some of the Jewish families, some of the Indian families. We've seen Indian families, I think it was the Guptas, Mandela's time, Begi's time. You know, obviously friends with people like Dr. Richard Maponya and stuff. He was an old man, and he was a wise man, because he saw that this thing is bigger than race. And he saw that a lot of white people were just victims of their own apartheid government. In the same way now, some of us are victims of a black government, where white people blame us for corruption. They blame us for deployees and black people that are lazy and inefficient in certain government departments. White people blame us. They're like, look at your black government. And we're like, it's not us. And we blame them for apartheid. And they're like, guys, it's not fucking us. Mandela had the wisdom to see that this is not race. There's power structures that are corrupted and that obviously end up making a whole bunch of people look bad. But he had to compromise so that there wasn't more bloodshed, people weren't killed, with the hope that over time there would be a transfer of skills, there would be a transfer of knowledge, there would be a transfer of resources and land in a systematic way. It wasn't communicated well with the black masses. That's why a lot of them are still angry. Because it just looks like a fucking sellout. And he did sell out. Once you compromise, you're selling out. He wasn't a full sellout. He didn't just let white people do their thing. He got us BEE, affirmative action. Over 2 million hectares have been transferred to black people. A lot of black people have been paid in the land restitution thing. A lot of black people now work in certain companies they wouldn't have worked before. Black kids have now gone to tertiary. We've got things like NSFAS, the National Student Financial Aid Scheme, which funds the poor kids to study at tertiary so that they can become doctors and lawyers. You know, black South African kids have traveled the world. They live in the suburbs. They drive nice cars. You know, we were given access to a lot, man. So it wasn't a full sellout. I live a privileged life thanks to people like Nelson Mandela, Oliver Tambo, and a whole lot of the other guys who compromised. I don't know if my parents would have maybe been killed, or I would have been killed, and I wouldn't be here today. Enjoying the privileges of going live on YouTube, living in the suburbs and complaining about load shedding when my ancestors didn't even have electricity. I'm privileged and I have privileged problems. But Nelson Mandela failed because even after he left, black people were not okay. We're traumatized. We have deep trauma, and I woke up with a heavy heart because I'm traumatized. Ignorance is bliss. Mandela's time I was 6, I told you. Mbeki came, I didn't know much about him. Zuma came, yo, what a cool guy. Sings, he dances, he cracks nice like Zulu jokes. He has these little jabs, and if you're in an era of consciousness and woke, the jabs he throws at white people, they give you a warm, fuzzy feeling. You're like, oh, fuck, finally a black leader who can tell white people their shit to their fucking face. And when a white person comes and, yo, we demand answers, he fucking laughs at them to show them how he doesn't fucking see them. I don't see you. I will fucking laugh at your questions, white fucking racist. We got excited. And I obviously became more politically conscious. I became more conscious of the world and power and leadership dynamics and money. And then Cyril Ramaphosa comes, and I really, really don't like him. I've tried. I think last year I used to post these statuses saying, I like Cyril Ramaphosa and I'll work with the government. I cannot. He's the weakest president we've had thus far. He has no spine. He has no standpoint. He claims to be diplomatic, but he's actually just a flip-flopper. And he makes me angry. And the biggest part of the anger is because I'm so awake now. Maybe I would have been as angry with Jacob Zuma, with Thabo Mbeki, with Nelson Mandela if I was so awake and knowledgeable at the time. I would have been livid. I'm livid now. Cyril goes on national television and he dictates to us. He doesn't have a conversation. He dictates to us. There are no journalists present to ask him fundamental questions. He doesn't open himself up to questions. If you've watched the movie V for Vendetta, if you've watched the movie Equilibrium with Christian Bale and Taye Diggs, if you've read the book 1984 by George Orwell, it's always these dictator leaders who go on a television screen and dictate to the masses, and no one asks any questions. Cyril is doing exactly that, and they call it a family meeting. How's it a family meeting if the guy in charge won't let the rest of the family speak? The media is captured, we know. You don't have to explain it to us. You don't have to try and just stop taking us for fucking children, man. You guys are captured by money, of course. Doesn't matter who it is. Doesn't matter if it's your favorite journalist or broadcaster. Last week on the virtual Mkuku with me and DJs, we interviewed Dr. Dr. Umkhuputse JJ Taban, who's got a show on ENCA. I like Leanne Manas and Sakina Kamwendo on Morning Live. Rest in peace, a really great journalist was Xolani Kwala. These guys have to earn salaries. They need to feed their kids. So they can't go on TV and really expose filth because they lose their jobs. So they're captured by their salaries. It's become pathetic. And you see some of these 702 journalists and the things they tweet. I saw Bongani Pingwa tweeting about corruption last week, speaking about Uzwelim Keys and his son Dedan, who were involved in corruption. Digital Vibes, a marketing agency which got COVID relief money. And I'm like, you guys make it too obvious. You guys make it too obvious. So Jacob Zuma and Duduzane were a problem. Okay. Zwelim Keys and Dedani are a problem. Okay. Machela Koko and his stepdaughter, problem. It's fine, guys. Nepotism. You guys taught us this term that we shouldn't actually work with our family members. We should rather give things to strangers. Okay. Cyril Ramaphosa and Andile Ramaphosa are embroiled in Bosasa money. No, it can be explained it was a detached agreement. How dare you? How dare you defend that? Angelo Agrizzi went to the Zondo Commission and he spoke about money that given to Cyril Ramaphosa's son, Andile, and the media treated it with white gloves and they distanced that. Raymond Zondo, the Chief Justice now, didn't do much about that. Pravin Gordhan and his daughter, nothing. The media makes it too obvious the sides that they're on. It's too obvious and it's nauseating. It makes me want to fucking vomit. And I have to listen to these black people speak with their great English. Yo, it's the rampant corruption in this country. So fuck you, man. Fuck you and your fucking salary. Up. I think it's not enjoying me, so my Google Assistant has come up. Hey, you. Our media is captured. Cyril is treated with white gloves. Cyril Ramaphosa is only available when there's potential for him and his family and his friends to make money. That's why he was big on. There was a time when Jackson Mthembu was the face of COVID. And Uzwelim Keys was the face of COVID in this country. Then I think as soon as Cyril Ramaphosa sniffed money with his friends, they were like, no, I want to start speaking to the people on screen. 500 billion COVID relief. And it's not just that. They've been raising billions of rands from foreign agencies and foreign banks and institutions. Like I said, Enoch Godongwana has spoken about how our debt is almost doubled in this country. These guys are going to die in the next 10, 20 years. And guess who's going to inherit this debt? Take a wild guess. Take a wild guess who's going to have to pay these fucking loans that our fathers and grandfathers are taking now so that they can live well now. So we can fucking suffer in the future. COVID money is there. Cyril Ramaphosa's there. Goes and he inspects the COVID vaccines because his mate Stephen Sard at Aspen is going to be manufacturing them. He gets involved, Makulum, about independent power producers because his brother-in-law Patrice Mutsipe and his other brother-in-law Jeff Radebe are going to be involved somehow. He gets excited there. You can almost see him licking his lips. Money. There's been unrest in this country. Last year we had looting and riots. KwaZulu. Cyril was nowhere to be seen. There, nowhere. He wasn't there on the ground with the people. Because there was no money to be made. I mean, come on, man. Now we've had issues with illegal foreigners or Operation Dudula. We've got issues. Nowhere to be seen. Where's Cyril? When Operation Dudula's, he's at an investment conference talking about, we're getting foreign investments, licking his lips because Cyril is all about money. And again, they take us for children because I've said this before. The money that these companies are claiming they're coming to invest is not new money. We have foreign companies in South Africa that are here milking money, and they obviously have operational expenditure that they constantly need to spend in infrastructure to grow their businesses here so they can make more money. If I'm Toyota or Nissan or BMW and I've got a plant and there's more demand for my cars, I'm going to obviously grow the plant and spend maybe another 2 billion, 5 billion rand in expanding that plant so we can make more money. Cyril is going to go and be like, the automotive industry has invested another 50 billion. We're so happy. This is the work we've done for South Africans. We have managed to get another 50 billion. No, you didn't get anything. You're lying to us. That's not you. That's the companies that are expanding so they can make more money off us. And you're lying, but you want to be there because you want to get dibs on the money being made. Along with your friends, your campaign funders, who we still don't know to this day. Because the courts, the judges in this country refuse to unlock Cyril's bank statements. We can't see Stephen Saad's name, or Brian Joffe's name, or the Oppenheimer's name, or maybe a Rupert's name, and his brother-in-law Patrice Motsepe, and anyone else that you hadn't thought about. We can't see their names, maybe even the Guptas themselves. We don't know who's there. Maybe Joe Biden or some of the funders from America who have an agenda. We can't see them in a country that claims to be transparent, no corruption. We're democratic. The same Cyril doesn't want us to see who's funded him. Floods, KwaZulu. Over 400 people have died. May they rest in peace. Nature fucking whacked. And there were jokes about nature was disciplining Zulus for looting last year. We can laugh, but we don't know. We don't know. Cyril Ramaphosa was not involved with the floods, KwaZulu. Why? There's no money to be made there. Wait. We need to set up a relief fund for KwaZulu. Cyril is there now, on the ground, with the people. We sympathize, the country is... Where were you, Broer, when people were being killed? When there were skirmishes here with illegal foreigners? Where were you when people were being killed in Phoenix? Where were you? Nowhere. No fucking way. You fat-nosed fucking cunt. Because you had no money to make. Now there's money to be made, nigga. Gotta make that money. Relief funds are going to be set up. Money is going to be made, of course. The Motsepe Foundation donated 30 million rand. A whole lot of other rich people are going to be donating money. Cyril now wants to set up a relief fund. Just like the Solidarity Fund was set up for COVID. And Cyril, in his audacity, is saying that government shouldn't be involved with this money because there's corruption. It must be given to an independent third party. Wow. The problem is I'm not ignorant anymore. The problem is I'm knowledgeable now and it hurts. What does Cyril mean? What Cyril means is, first and foremost, I may be ANC leader, I may be president of the country, but please don't associate me with the ANC. Please don't associate me with black leaders and black politicians. I'm not them. I'm the captain of the ship. I'm the CEO. I'm the boss. I'm the head. But anything that happens here, it's got nothing to do with me. Only the good stuff. Investments, we're handling COVID well. Relief funds, it's me. Fuck, I'm Cyril. I'm the best president ever. White people worship me. Bad things, not me. I'm not involved. My cadres, they must step aside. These people must... But people would kill the Marikana. No, not me. Yeah, but money was looted, COVID relief. No, not me. No, but your son Andy, no, had nothing to do with me. And the media defends him every single time. Implicated in the Zondo report, nothing happens. And then Cyril goes, he's meant to review the report, by the way, even though he's implicated. He's not investigated. And then he goes and he makes Raymond Zondo Chief Justice. Whoop-de-doo. Wasn't even recommended by the JSC. Money is going to be made. Cyril wants a third independent party. In this country, it's come up in years that have passed that audit firms like KPMG and Deloitte have been involved directly with corruption in companies. They're the ones that have to audit companies like Steinhoff. And we have to ask questions like, how did you guys miss this? No, the thing is, anyways, you know Zuma and his 9 wasted years in the Guptas. The Guptas had their accounts frozen. I haven't heard of Marcus Uester and the execs or the board at Steinhoff's accounts being frozen. Iqbal survey of Segunjalo Media, iol.co.za, they were freezing his accounts. Duduza and Zuma still can't open accounts today by independent third-party bankers who are strict on the rule of law. Andile Ramaphosa's bank accounts went frozen. Cyril Ramaphosa, we can't see his bank statements, but we could see the bank statements of the Guptas and everyone else. Woo! Wow! All animals are created equal. Some are more equal than others. The auditing firms are corrupt. The legal firms are corrupt. Our judges are captured and they're biased. When Cyril says we need a third independent party, this is what I hear. Okay, let me start by going back. The money mustn't be given to government because they're corrupt. And it's come out that some of the money has been looted in Wazur. This is important because I'm not going to defend black politicians. They are corrupt to fucking hell. They're corrupt. Izinja. Some of these people I know personally, my mates, there's no tomorrow. And obviously, when we call you out, you guys point at Abelu, look at what white people. Yes, I know, white people are corrupt as well, but you're also corrupt. Come on, man. They're corrupt, and it's true. And it's true that there's a problem with giving money to government because money will be stolen. That's true. That's a fact. Even Dr. Bonang Mohale last night was saying, we don't even need to think about it. It's inevitable that money will be stolen. So yes. But what Cyril is saying again is, I'm part of the ANC, but I don't trust my fellow colleagues that I'm meant to be in charge of. I don't trust them. Who does Cyril trust? Cyril trusts his handlers, his funders. When he talks about a third independent party, he's talking about one of his white or Indian or black funders who's going to be given this money on behalf of. The same way money was given to the Solidarity Fund, those are some of Cyril's friends. And it was funneled. And Dr. Bonang Mohale sadly said something that really upset me last night, saying, of the money in the Solidarity Fund, every single rand can be accounted for. None of the money has been stolen. Oof. Sounds beautiful to the ears. No corruption. Solidarity Fund. Let's get the same guys. Guys, white people have been looting and corrupt for years. They know how to work the game. These are your colonizers. These are your oppressors. These are not people who are here thinking about the goodness of you. They don't give a flying fuck about you. What they do know how to do is to eat better than blacks. They eat with a fork and knife. Oh, please pass me the salt, squire. Thank you very much, madam. Black politicians and black entrepreneurs, because blacks are obviously used to eating with their hands. Ubambi iqatha le nto la, ubambi ipapa la budle kube kuvuza igrewu uyakhotha la, uphinde utapune kodwa awukagwinyi. Wena nje uyatapa nje uphila ngomtapo. Thiwa awukakasuthi hayi ngithathele izingane zami you're stashing at the back even though you're full. Kwakusho umamkhawule EFF ukuthi nibhizi ngongitshontsha. Ufika untshontshe la basuke lapho bakise kwenye department uhambe uyontshontsha lapho niphilela nje umntshontsha. White people bayantshontsha but sorry, excuse me. What's going to happen when the fund is set up? I'm telling you this now because this is a fact. This is how the world works. You can hate me, you can call me names. I frankly don't give a fuck. They're going to set up a fund. Money is going to be put in that fund. And yes, the money will be audited by independent auditors, your KPMGs and your Deloittes and your PricewaterhouseCoopers and your Grant Thorntons, etc. The money will be audited, of course. These are their mates. Auditors, by the way, need to beg for business from other companies. I don't want to go into this in detail, but they become friends with the owners of the companies they have to audit. It's going to go through certain bank accounts, which are going to be verified, the same banks that decide whose accounts they get to close and other corrupt people whose accounts they don't close. Then they're going to have a team. And what's upsetting is Cyril keeps creating these councils, these committees. We've got people that are entrusted to deal with these things in this country. We've got them. They're there. But they're not being used. No, Cyril has to set up his own unique team that he trusts because he doesn't trust his cadres that voted him into power after he bribed them. He's going to set up these committees. These committees are now going to decide where the money should go. And then they're going to get verified NPOs, non-profit organizations that have full compliance. They're tax compliant, registered public benefit organization. Their Section 18 is intact. They've got a great track record. They've got a great team. They've got infrastructure. Oh, let's give it to Gift of the Givers, the Motsepe Foundation, Solidarity Fund, all these other NPOs. Let's give it to them. No, Jacob Zuma Foundation, corrupt. Stay away from the Jacob Zuma Foundation. Oh, Cyril Ramaphosa Foundation. Oh, great. Let's give the money to them. Compliant. They tick all the boxes. It's great. The money gets there and it works, and you see great work being done for the beneficiaries. Schools will be rebuilt. Homes will be rebuilt. People will get food packs. People will get clothing. People will get blankets. A lot of good aid will be done, and we'll cheer. And you'll go back and you'll look at the audits and you'll be like, these NPOs did really amazing work. And there's going to be pictures of children in the mud crying. They've lost their mom. Their mom's died. There's going to be pictures of a frantic mother looking for her children. There's going to be pictures of schools, and it's going to be heartwarming. There's going to be TV ads of donate to the relief fund. The people of KwaZulu are, and it's going to get you emotional, and you're going to send 500 Rand, 5,000 Rand and be like, no, man. And you'll get like celebrities that are going to come on TV and be like, guys, as we know what happened in KwaZulu affects us all. These are our people. Please help where you can. And, it's going to pull at the heartstrings. And there's going to be nice reports afterwards. We've done really great work, KwaZulu. And it's going to be a beautiful story. No corruption. No corruption. No corruption. Forgot the gentleman's name. I was listening to Metro FM last night. But 630 schools have been damaged. They've currently budgeted 442 million Rand to deal with that. They've obviously lost over 400 people. I think they've lost 150 or 57 students. They've probably lost teachers as well. Came out recently that there was fire in shacks, I think Kwalanga, in Cape Town. 250 shacks burnt down, so they need aid there as well. There's going to be a lot of aid needed. No corruption. Why is there no corruption? Because white people know how to play the game. So companies like Bidvest are going to get some of the money. They're going to come and they're going to help maybe build the schools, maybe help sanitize the schools, whatever. Some of the big construction companies, your Murray and Roberts, your Group 5s, are going to be involved in reconstructing the schools. We're going to get food packs that are coming from Spar, from Pick and Pay, from ShopRite, these Christo Visas and the Raymond Ackermans of this world. We're going to get blankets that, are delivered to these people, warm blankets and whatever you like. And then no one is going to ever look at the financial statements. If they make them available, which I doubt they will, because I've never seen the financial statements of the Solidarity Fund. People like yours truly are going to go scrutinize them because I'm a fucking asshole. I'm such a miserable cynic. I just can never applaud and be happy. Penuel, why can't you just be happy that Cyril donated 30 million Rand? Why are you pocket watching? How much did you donate? Why are you so negative? People are going to benefit. Why are you fucking so miserable? I'm such a fucking grouch. I'm sorry, but Mr. Grouch is going to go look at the financial statements. I want to see how much money was raised. I want to see who the money was given to. Because in there are going to be a lot of suppliers that are linked to Cyril Ramaphosa and his family or Patrice. A lot of the money that they're going to get are going to boost their businesses in various ways. If we're getting food packs from ShopRite, ShopRite is going to be getting paid. Pick and Pay is getting paid. If we're getting blankets from one of Cyril's friends, that guy's going to make millions just from selling blankets to the NPOs. Bidvest is going to make a lot of money. They're going to say we're donating this, and it's not donations. They're going to get tax benefits from that. And the money's going to come back to them in one way or another. The TV ads that you're going to see, there's going to be production companies, just like or Digital Vibes, Bubbles William Keys. There's going to be agencies that are going to be commissioned to do ads. There's going to be celebrities that are called on to come and speak and cry. And guys, please, even if you have 10 Rand, 20 Rand, please donate a little bit you can have for the victims of KwaZulu. You know, those celebs are going to get paid. So they're going to be cool. A lot of tenderpreneurs are going to be paid, of course. I mean, the caterers are going to make sure they eat one way or another, or people are going to be killed. That's definitely going to happen. Food packs are going to be stolen. Okay, those are the blacks. I'm talking about the whites who do it cleanly. They inflate prices. So a white NPO is going to get 500,000 Rand for food packs. They're going to take this 500,000. They're going to be like, look, we need to service 1,000 families. So it's going to be 50 Rand, 500 Rand, whatever, per family, as an example. They're going to take that budget and they're going to look at, okay, at 50 Rand, we're going to need trucks and cars. We're going to need volunteers to work. We're going to need to make new T-shirts written KZN Relief or golf shirts. We're going to need jackets because it might be cold. We're going to need fuel. We're going to need airtime. So we also have to budget infrastructure for ourselves. Plus, we're going to also need to eat, like have a pizza here and there, maybe go for drinks when it's been a long day of doing like good charity work, you know. And in these food packs themselves, we're going to try and make sure that we at least make a 50% margin. So we're going to get, let's say for 100 Rand worth of food pack, we're going to try and get those from wholesalers for 50 bucks. And then the other 50 bucks is going to come to us, but via the wholesaler. So we go to the wholesaler, please give me a food pack that's worth 100 Rand on paper, and I'm going to want that invoice for my accountant. But then please make sure that you give me a discount backdoor. Those documents we can keep for ourselves. And then because I'm friends with you, Ahmed, Rajesh, Yanni, whatever the case may be, because I'm mates with you, I know I'll get this money back somehow. In future, when I need groceries or whatever, you're my mate. You'll give me the stuff back. Or you'll give me benefits in some other way. You'll donate to my child's school. All of a sudden, my child gets a scholarship randomly out of thin air. Or we'll find some other way to funnel the money. That's how they do it. It's clean on paper. I've been to China, Guangzhou in particular, which is a huge hub where foreigners, Chinese foreigners, us, go there to stock, to come and sell here. In Guangzhou, when you buy there, because the Chinese understand that customs duty, tax, we get taxed when we bring foreign stuff at the airport or at the harbor. So what they do, it's not rocket science. You buy 20,000 Rand worth of stock in China and you're bringing it in. In China, they're going to give you 2 invoices. The first invoice is going to be the invoice you're going to show, you're going to declare when you get to the airport. And you're going to be like, oh, I spent 5,000 Rand on this stock. The other invoice is yours that I spent 20,000 Rand so that you pay less tax. It's clean. On paper, 5,000 Rand, in reality, 20,000. This is how, I'm going to call it white people, but it's essentially it's experienced people in the money game. That's how they operate. They inflate prices so that you can never pick up that there was any corruption, because there wasn't. The auditors come here, they're like, we want your invoice. There's the invoice. Okay, let's look at the stuff. Okay, checks out. Tick. Good. I studied accounting. I did accounting at honors level. I was on scholarship from Ernst & Young. Great auditing firm. I've worked in auditing. I was meant to be an accountant, a CA, chartered accountant. I know how the game works. I know how the game works inside fucking out. It's relationships. Who are you friends with? Who do you know? And if you're friends with the wrong people, the right people, make sure that you get cancelled. That's how it works. 360 Kandani Msibi, money that Imali Numsa, union money, they're trying to be cancelled by the PA, Prudential Authority, I think, the insurance company. They've been paying out claims, they find they're liquid, but they're looking for loopholes to crush them. Mentor of mine, Kulufelo Maponya, got money from the PIC, had invested in businesses, had been doing well, he's building. Because he was seen as a Zuma faction, all of a sudden they set up these commissions to crush these people. Iqbal Suve, Segunjalo Media. If you're not with the right mates, then you've got people like Osandile Zungu. I've been trying to meet with Osandile for a long time. I do chat with him, though we have good chats on WhatsApp, but I've been trying to meet with him for a long time. Sandile Zungu was with the Black Business Council. The Black Business Council has had people from the Mutsipe family sit on their board. They're friends with the right people. So when they call government to sit with them, That's not called state capture. It's called lobbying. It's open, it's transparent. They call you in, people pay 10,000, 50,000 membership fees. They bring in Cyril to come and sit and speak about business opportunities. What do you guys have for business? You sit there with the Black Business Council or something like Business Unity South Africa. I think Bonang Mohale might be there. Nothing wrong. Sandile Zoom was in charge of the COVID vaccine relief, vaccine rollout, I think last year, the year before. It's called lobbying. It's legal and it's fine. They're friends with the right people. It's not state capture. No. There's full disclosure and the like. But they had tea together. No, it was a BBC meeting. It was a conference. It was a delegate. It was a delegation and went with the president to go and see. That's how these things work. But obviously, abantu abamnyama, because you guys are not really experienced, you miss out on these things and then you're caught with your pants down because niyatapa, niza ngezandla, nidla fork and knife and suli mlomo. We're like, but you said you didn't eat the food, but ukwevile. No. The thing is, like, but we saw you were chilling with minister. What? No, my chief, the thing is, you didn't do it right. You didn't do it the right way. Sizwe Nxasana, who's married to Judy Dlamini. Judy Dlamini used to be the chairperson of Aspen, Leah Stevens Sard. Great entrepreneur in her own right, one of the wealthiest women in South Africa. I believe she's a billionaire. Sizwe Nxasana was the first Black person to have an accounting firm, Sizwe & Co. It turned into Sizwe Nsaluba, then it turned to Sizwe Nsaluba Kobodo, so that they could access Transnet tenders because they were too small, they needed capacity. At some point, he was the chairperson of Telkom, and then he was made CEO of First Rand. At First Rand, where he was CEO, when I looked at their auditors list, like I said, I'm a loser. I fucking spoiled the game. I went to go and look at their auditors. I think one of them was PwC, PricewaterhouseCoopers, and then the other one was Sizwe Nsaluba Kobodo. And I was like, the CEO has got his company that's auditing but this is a conflict of interest. But the reality is that if you disclose these things at a board and they note it in the minutes, it's fine. If Jacob Zuma is working with his son and they're doing business, as long as it's declared and it's in the minutes and everyone is made aware, it's not nepotism, it's not corruption, it's fine. The problem is when you do it backdoor. That's the problem. It's the only problem. I mean, you learn these things and life becomes so much better. The private sector is extremely corrupt. The people became billionaires during apartheid, during colonization. Even now, they're rich because they know how to work the game. That's why I get angry. And when I post about these things, I get dragged because I'm the sour guy. I'm angry because Patrice donated 30 million. And I'm like, I don't even think that's Patrice's money. And I'm like, the guy's worth 51 billion rand. If you were to compare it, it's 0.05% of his wealth. It's nothing. Yes, we'll applaud people get helped, but if I'm worth 1,000 rand and I donate 500, that's like 50% of my net worth. Yes, it's not cash. And I'm trying to tell you guys a story. I'm trying to give you guys education, but you're so dumb. You don't get it. And then you drag me and you attack me. And the tweet that I posted yesterday, the day before, was on like 2,300 likes. Great. And then like maybe 1,000 retweets of people just dragging me when I'm trying to educate you. But education is too much. And it means I'm going to actually tell you a story you don't want to hear. And it's going to explain why we're so poor and why some people remain rich. The private sector is extremely corrupt, and their corruption is very well hidden. In the private sector, you don't pay bribes. What you do is you join a regulatory board and you pay membership fees every year. That makes sure that you get to sidestep red tape. You get to work with governments and whatnot because you're regulated, you're compliant. He falls under, he's approved by this standard and that association. And obviously, black people, they don't know how to play the game at that level. So all they do is they pay bribes. If it's on Enzel, you might find that your bribe is much more than you would have paid in membership fees just going about it this way. And you would have gotten the same business and it would have been legit and everything would have checked out. Like I said, if you join the Black Business Council, you pay a membership fee every year. They are known lobby group. They on their website, they say that part of the benefits is that you sit with decision makers in government. I mean, it's not hidden. You know what I mean? It's not hidden. So you pay your membership fee there. When they have their meetings, they invite you depending on what level member you are. And then you sit with these politicians and you make a relationship with them. And when opportunities come out, they're obviously going to go there first. It's relationships and it's fine. So the ANC government has failed, the black government has failed, and a lot of us are saying, give the country back to whites. We look at what whites are doing in the Western Cape, looks like it's well run. Cyril Ramaphosa had the audacity, disgusting audacity, after there was fire at Parliament there, to say on national television, at least there's one city that works. Again, shading his cadres and his comrades and applauding a DA-run city and province as an ANC leader. That's not an ANC man. That's not a person who cares about black people. That's a person who cares about white people and a person who cares about the people that give him money. Cyril Ramaphosa doesn't care about you. And I hate what we call democracy because it's not fair. If I'm poor, I want a grant, I want an RDP, I want my kids to get free schooling, I want free healthcare, I want NSFAS. That's what I want. So I asked, if I want these things, where must I vote? They say vote here, ANC. Okay. EFF, maybe the EFF, okay. DA, no, the DA won't give you those things. Okay, because I want these things. No, the ANC promises these things. Okay, I'm voting. Tomorrow, too, but Nina voted Ramaphosa. Where? I voted for a grant and an RTP, and I didn't vote for Cyril. People that vote ANC are not voting for Cyril. They're not like, ooh, hey, no, Babu Kulumaga Mnandi, and that's not what people are voting for. And we call that democracy. It's not. It's a broken system. Cyril bribed a few people that wanted money so that he could become ANC president. And Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma lost by a few votes. And now we're saying all ANC voters voted for Cyril. They didn't. Yes, they did, but they didn't. I blame you for shopping at Pick n Pay. And I blame you for buying cough medicine, cough syrup, med lemon, and because I'm like, you know, every time you give your money to Pick n Pay and these what, you're the one that are giving these white people money so that they can pick your president for you. So then I blame you. Yeah, it's because you shop at Pick n Pay. And you're like, no, but dog, I was just gonna buy bread. No, it's because you watch DSTV, so you're making the Stellenbosch Mafia rich. No, in fact, I was just watching The Wife. No, it's you. Blame you. I blame all people that watch DSTV. That's why this country is fucked. Face, I was just watching Mocha. That's what happens when we blame ANC voters who weren't voting for Cyril. They weren't voting for Phil and Balula. They weren't voting for Pegicele. They weren't voting for Naledi Pando. They weren't voting for Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma. They weren't voting for Didi Mabuza. They weren't voting for Ace Mahashule. They were voting for a better life, grants, which the other political parties are not offering them. But we bashed them, myself included. I bashed them. I'm angry at ANC voters. But then who must they vote for? Afraid who must they vote for? Because everyone else is fucked. We don't have democracy in this country. We've got systems. It's like our legal system that's not just. It's a legal system. It's there. We've got courts. We've got lawyers. We've got magistrates. We've got judges. We've got legal clerks. We've got all these people. We've got a legal system. The system is there. It's just not fair. It's not fair. But Tabile Dlamini has been asked to pay 200,000 for apparently billions that disappeared under her watch or were misused. And for lying, perjury, asked to pay 200K. Yuri Roo, head of SA Rugby, misappropriated millions of rands. He's been asked to pay back the money. And not only is he not jailed and not being chastised, he's setting terms. I'll only pay the money back if I keep my position. Young Dizzy student from Walter Sisulu University, Usbongile Mani, blows 818,000 of money that's not hers, but landed mistakenly in her account by an independent third party of NSFAS and the university. 14 million. She spent 818. She's got 5 years in jail. No opportunity to pay the money back, suspended sentence, say sorry. Our legal system is not fair. And if you don't have money, you are fucked. If you have money, top thokozile. You're winning, boss. There's no justice in this country. And everything seems to be broken. Our traffic lights are down, even when there's electricity. This morning I found out in Noord, MTN, taxi rank, there was lines and lines of people waiting for taxis. Taxi bosses don't give a fuck about you. Taxi drivers don't give a fuck about you. They let you stand there like inkomo, waiting you get deep, no because they don't care about you. They only care about money, and they bring the country to a standstill. And who suffers? Not the politicians, not the rich white people who own the companies. You, the employee that's trying to earn a living, you suffer. You're the one stuck in the rain. You're the one getting abused by a taxi driver verbally. Everyone in the come back later, guys. I'm still hurt. Load shedding won't let me win, and now my network is dodgy. Back later, but everyone's to blame. ANC, white people that never shared, black people that don't want to work hard, buy from and work for other black people. Clever blacks like myself who are privileged but are also miserable and don't want to lose their privilege. I'm gonna come back when I'm sorted. I'm just gonna read your comments before I log off. I'm not gonna read them out because I realize this wastes time. What's the solution, Penuel? Who do we put in power in 2024? Tsepi Sombat. The solution is not politics. I just want you guys to know that the solution is not politics. Punch Trey. Until we stand up and start doing things for ourselves, nothing will change. We are our own saviors. Politicians have proved to us time and time again that they are there for their own families. Couldn't have put it better. MJJ decides to post rubbish. People must go get vaccinated, otherwise COVID is not that dangerous. I had my 3 jabs and now masks are cancelled. We go without restrictions. Whatever, man. Whatever. Kuruman channel, go to Nigeria, my brother. I don't know if that's I don't know if that comment is in a negative spirit, or if it's I must go somewhere else, or if it's to tell me that Nigeria is worse. I don't know. Now people are swearing at white people that are coming on the chat. Understandably so. We're all angry, and we're angry at everyone. I said politics is not the solution. The solution is yourself. And when I come back and I make another video, I hope in my angry state, I'm going to get to how you can get out, including myself. Or maybe I'll just speak about myself. You can do whatever you want, but I'm done. And I'm sorry for using you guys as my therapists, venting. I appreciate you listening to me and sharing your thoughts as my therapist. But I guess these videos are me trying to get rid of this disease I have of caring for black people, of caring for South Africans, of caring for South Africa. I want to get rid of it. My heart is broken. My heart is deeply broken, and I don't want to love anymore. I don't want to love this anymore. And there are so many cool people that care about me. So many cool people that work with me and invest in me and donate with me. And they give me such great advice. And when I meet them in the streets, like they give me so much love. That's where my energy needs to be. I need to like really, really learn to switch off from everything else. It's when we're being load shed, the network becomes trash as well. I can't wait to end the stream. Fuck. I'm sorry, I just have to go through the comments because when I upload the video, the comments disappear. And I like hearing from you guys, of course. Some of you like actually make me feel better. Some of you give me great ideas. So Ryan Gerber, it's an abusive family, speaking about Cyril dictating to us on screens. Yo, I don't like that guy. I really don't like that guy. I don't like him. I don't like people who support him. I don't like the people who have funded him. I don't like all of them because they are the reason that we have that guy as the face of this country. Ryan Gerber, I love this panel. Love to see your passionate emotion, bro. I can see you really do care about South Africa. We need more like you. No, Ryan. This is my goodbye story. It's my goodbye note, my love letter to say thank you, but no thank you. I'm tired of the abuse. I don't want to go crazy. I don't want to hurt people. I don't want to turn into a cool leader and set up a rebel army. And you know, I don't. I want peace and happiness and love and good things. I want to watch Disney movies with my fucking kids. No ways. No ways. Blood Wolf, a poor white person during apartheid is still a poor white person today. However, I work here in Stellenbosch, and I agree that you can see how some white people own everything. And yeah, man, like Nelson Mandela had to learn that it isn't about race. And obviously, I'm getting attacked for it, and I'm called a sellout and captured, and it's fine. I'm being called by people that don't even know who I am, what I do, and what I stand for. I don't want to care about those people anymore. I want them to call me names, and I don't want to feel anything. And if they suffer and if they die, I want to feel nothing at all. I only want to care about my people. I only want to care about my people, regardless of race or gender or nationality. That's why even the concept of being South African is paining me. I'd like to work with people, global citizens who are of similar mind, and we must insulate ourselves. I used to speak about setting up an ark. Well, it was going to be my own kingdom, the Penuel kingdom. And I used to post the stuff of like, people laughed at Noah when he told them the floods were coming. The floods are here. The floods are here, and we need to insulate ourselves. That means creating off-the-grid systems that work for us. I don't want to worry about people that hate themselves and that constantly support their oppressors. No. Rush Nande. The only way to turn this country around is to vote Action SA. That's all I'm giving you. A slow blink. Fezil and Kabi, this government is blue ticking us. It's disgusting. Pagamani calls Amdluli. I don't think politics are the answer to our problems. One of our major issues in South Africa, we rely on government too much. We rely on government and politicians too much. We've lost our brains. We've lost our hands. You've outsourced every fiber of your being to corrupt, retarded, stupid individuals who don't care about you at all. I'm the captain, but I'm also not the captain. That's Cyril Ramaphosa, Ryan Gerber. Yeah, ne. Sihle Pam, my brother in arms, preach. Manny, I hate to say it, but we need more of that Nhlanhla energy. I'm not saying he has the right methodology, but I respect him standing up for something. That's what we need. I agree that we need the energy, and I do agree that it needs to be redirected. Nhlanhla lost a brother of his yesterday who was shot allegedly by foreigners. Klankler himself got bruised on the leg. He called me this morning. I spoke to him. I've been telling him for weeks, I love him. I think he's incredibly smart. I think he's a great leader. But I think he needs to he needs to change his strategy. I want him to be alive. I want him to contribute. I don't think this is the way, because there are vultures out there who are going to want to take him and his people down. But yeah, we need more young, aggressive, angry, passionate leaders. For South Africa, I'm leaving. You guys can do it. Fuck it, man. I'm out. People signed petitions saying they don't want the government to make permanent the national state of disaster and to incorporate it into the National Health Act. Abo Cyril nabonkosazana Dlamini Zuma have now declared a national state of disaster because of KwaZulu. And instead of, because the deadline is the 16th of April, instead of them taking the petitions and saying, oh, people don't want us to do this, they've extended the deadline. They bind themselves time because they really want to force this thing down our throats like everything else. Jabs, restricting us if you're not vaccinated or if you don't have a negative, what, in a country that's so healthy. Was so healthy, they failed. The experiment in their project failed. And now because they still want to make money off vaccines and masks and sanitizers and fumigations and those things, they're going to keep shoving it because it's about money. It's not about human life. This thing of human rights and the United Nations and the Constitution, it's just bullshit that normal citizens buy into. It's like religious scriptures. Your pastors and the people that make money off the church, they're not believers. Only you idiots that tithe and that volunteer at the church, you're the idiots. We're the idiots that believe in the Constitution and human rights. My body integrity. These guys don't fucking care. It's about money. That's why miners die. People die in floods. People are dying from vaccines, some from COVID, from. These guys don't care as long as they're making bank. As long as they have power. Kulufelo Libepe. In China, officials found guilty of corruption are executed. Who will execute them in this country? Your corrupt leaders at the top. Cyril must execute. I keep hearing people saying Cyril must act swiftly. Cyril, the king of corrupt, must. Got a tad emotional there. Take it back. Please excuse me. Pretty Mapoloba. This is a sad reality. Today I'm depressed. I'm not affected personally, but I'm sad for the lost around me. And it looks like they're on their own. I'm getting out. If you've ever watched the movie Get Out, we are in that sunken place. I'm going to get out. Like Noah. I don't believe in the Bible. I think it's a work of fiction, but it's got great stories and great principles. One of them is the story of Noah. The floods are not literal. They're figurative. When life is going sideways and things are going bad, find an escape, find a safe space, and find leadership, and find your family, and find animals that you can move with and live well. There's too many comments here. Oh, my boy Jackson, Karabonse, Uncle Penny, my chi. We have always been American at heart, let's be honest. Yo, Jax, I fucking hate America. I hate Joe Biden. I hate American propaganda. I hate the fact that they bully the rest of the world. But for all the other cool things that America is, I love America so fucking much. I've got a love-hate relationship with the United States. But yeah, man, if it means we move to Los Angeles or Miami or New York, fuck it. Fuck it. Tsepang Muhlalo, you and DJ Sbu owe us a Black Solidarity Fund. So we can chow it, ne? All of a sudden, Uncle Penny is driving a nice car. It's like, we've done great work for the benefit. No, I'm joking. But something has to give. And I'll tell you one thing. If you're going to set up stokvels and funds, focus on your family and your community and your friends. Forget giving money to strangers. Those strangers have got people that they buy from. They've got leaders that they vote for. They have funds in their municipalities, in their areas. They've got ward councillors. More than anything, they work for certain companies. They buy from certain businesses. Those are the people that must take care of them, not you. That's another conversation that we need to have. Such good comments here. I wish I could read all of them. Ochodi saying Siluan, Hebang, slick talk. I'm not slick talk, man. Speaking of my own pain, and I'm not trying to shade anyone. I'm not trying to troll. I'm speaking my truth of the nation that we have today. Tibani Bunene, education is foreign to black men. Penuel, don't worry, educate us. I'll keep trying. I appreciate you guys. I think you guys are part of my tribe. And we must find each other and we must move. We must forget about everyone else. We must forget about everyone else. It's painful. Some of them are your family members. Boo-hoo. We must forget. These people are going to destroy us in the long run. Speaker won't. It's not about black and white. It's about slave and non-slave, white and black. I agree. I'm non-racialist. I agree. I and I'm also angry. You're not the only one. I watched the interview on the Mutsipes and I'm the miserable guy who's angry that people are getting money donated. Speaker on Cyril so unelected boost. I love it. I love that one. We should make a sticker and put it on cars. Mr. Sosha, the bad man. We must leave this land and let the ones they prefer turn it into the nightmares they left. So one of the things I want, because I love this country, I'm talking about the land and not necessarily the people. We need to find spaces. I understand now why white people want to make the Western Cape independent. I understand Orania. I think we need to find fertile pieces of land and then begin building our own nations there, our own countries that have their own laws on there because it's private land. We can do that and we can have our own economy inside and our own water and our own energy source and whatever. I think that's what we need. Those are the things that I'm thinking about. I've been thinking about it for years. I've been trying to move with the Penuel Kingdom for years, but it's getting more and more desperate now. The floods are here, literally and figuratively. Bloodline elite, it all comes down to spiritual warfare, the good versus the evil, demons versus angels, and it is playing out right in front of our eyes. Pick a side and make sure it's the right side. Blessing Jwacha. You are such a scrutineer, Penuel. You are such a scrutineer. I scrutinize. Scrutinize! Do you think independent candidates are a possible solution? Ask Ryan Kharba. No. Politics. The system itself is corrupt. The system. So even if you have a good heart and you have the system is corrupt. So as soon as you jump in there, you will be frustrated by everyone else around there who is filthy. You'll end up getting dirty yourself. Ooh. Mshanga, Penuel, people like you still think you can collaborate with other races when other races see us as only slave labor. Dog, I know some of the coolest white, Indian, Chinese people you will ever meet in your life. Some of the coolest with the biggest hearts that do the most. And then I know some of the most evil black people that don't give a flying fuck about others. Meanwhile, they're rich. They have black employees. They get money from black and they don't care. If we're still going to get stuck in race, when I move, please know that I will leave you behind. I'm not here for racism. That's part of the mental prison that they've got you locked in. They'll give you a black president. They'll give you a black billionaire. They'll give you black teachers. They black and you'll follow them and they'll mislead you. Meanwhile, there's white, Indian, Chinese, other people that are trying to help you. We speak about China. Those are not black people, but we look up to them. We speak about the Koreans. We speak of some of the cool things that are happening in places like America. Those are not black people. Those are white people that we can learn from. Learn from them. Take the good. And if there's good white people, let's work with them. Me, I'm done. Race. Shame. Mark me absent, ma'am. Not here. Absent. I'm good. I've done my bit. And I've been hurt. You. Soze. Ntase soze. Chi. I don't want to read this comment. Mhlanga says we do have a democracy, but you need to understand what democracy really is. Moving along swiftly. So many comments. No. Gail and Tsumu come to Congo, the DRC, where you guys are captured by Dan Gertler with the Kabila family, where you guys have rampant poverty, yet you're one of the most minerally rich nations on earth. But look, Gail or Gael and Tsumu, if you in the DRC are in an insulated space and it's heaven there, I'm there. I'm coming. Make space for me and my people. We're coming to live well there. I need to get this mindset, this thing of worrying about the masses who don't care about themselves. I need to get it out of my system. T-Boy Munchies, Jesus Christ is a solution. I'm sorry, I'm just browsing through the comments. I want to end this thing. Sean Princeton. Penuel, if you live in Gauteng, let's go have a beer. Sean, I don't drink, but we can definitely have a drink. I'll have a Coke or I'll have a Fanta or whatever, and we can chat. I love black people. I love black people who are aligned to me very much. I've got a lot of great black friends, but I especially love black people who reach a hand out to me because it means you guys want us to work together and to win and to build. And yes, I'll call you out on your forefathers and I'll call you out. That's me. You'll ask some of my white mates. I give them hell. But after that, we sit down and we work and we make shit happen. So, Sean, whenever there's a chance, dog, we can meet up and chat. Speaker around Eskom is embezzling electricity. Dumsani Mlambo, religion is part and parcel of the game. It's all perception engineering. Oh, I love that. Perception engineering. Jesus can save us. Aye, pretty. Let's keep on praying. No, pretty. No. Stop praying. Start working. Prayer didn't stop the floods. The people that are dead, no prayer there. Not prayer. Work. Substitute prayer for work. Every time you're like, oh, let me pray. Go work. Go put in work. Do something physical. Be like, what am I praying for? A car. A car costs money. Go make money. Go work. Fuck prayer. Rather, if you're gonna pray, pray to yourself. Keep quiet and be like, me, pretty noble, I pray to myself that I will gain the strength to work really hard, to put in the work, to make money, or to grow my own vegetables, or to build a great body. That's what you pray for. That's who you pray to yourself. Not to a fictional Jesus and a God out there. That's where you guys are getting lost. The Christian God flooded the world, apparently. Maybe it's the Christian God that's flooding the people in KZN. They're asking you guys to repent. Now, fuck that, man. Go work. Go work. Work. Ryan Garba, all the best. Said to see you. If you're ever in Port Elizabeth at Gqeberha, let me know. Would love to pick your brain over a few beers. You guys must stop drinking alcohol. Man. But yes, we can have a few non-alcoholic drinks and have a chat. And maybe have a vorsie. But curious K, like-minded individuals like you and I ought to come together and collaborate. Penuel needs support in a system that we create so that we can keep the fire burning. Guys, it's so easy. For me, at least. It's like I'm still in love with the woman that was cheating on me and had kids with other people and stole my money and beat me up and gave me AIDS. I'm trying to get over my love for the South African masses and South Africa as a nation, as a brand. But I will not kill my love for people that are like me, for people that are willing to work, that are not beggars, that are not exploiters, that are not corrupt, that want to do the right things and create cool stuff. I will never lose love for those people. And for me, it's just a matter of getting over my ex, the South African nation that pains me so much, and redirecting my love to the right people, the right lover, my people. That's who I want to find. I've met a lot of you, by the way. So it's not like I'm talking about a fictional. I've met a lot of amazing people. Shit. I'm trying to kill my trauma and my holding on, the Stockholm syndrome, to people that don't matter to me. I'm trying to kill that. That's all. And then obviously in the process, I'm educating some of you where I can. And you guys are educating me as well, so I appreciate it. I bet all the millions of graves they dug are still empty. Oh, so embarrassing. Comments are not ending. I appreciate them, but they're not ending. Let's host a real seminar on how we are going to find these pieces of land and building for real. Let's not just chat about it. So in the seminars, if we're going to host seminars or whatever, I already know a lot of people at land. I have access to land myself. I can't complain about land like other blacks. We're privileged. We have jobs. We have money. Some of us have businesses. Some of us have farms. We almost have everything we need, to be honest. It's just collaborating in the right way. And then, like I said, isolating ourselves away from government and other rogue elements and focusing on building. That's actually all it is, to be honest. It's not rocket science for me. I've got access to a lot of people. I mean, think of an example of, you guys know DJ Spoo. DJ Spoo's got his own beverage company. He owns an online radio channel station. I believe he's well off. They're currently doing property development in the West Rand. He's connected to a lot of people. Just working with Spoo on its own. If you're in my circle, you shouldn't be unemployed. You shouldn't be poor. Just Spoo. And now I can tell you, I know another 50 Spoos in my life. And then another 100 white Spoos in my life. And another 30 Indian Spoos in my life who have way more money than Spoo, who have greater access, who I have the network. I just need to kill this irrational love for the wrong people. That's all it is. That's all it is. I understand it now. It's taken a while, and I guess I had to learn it the hard way. Otherwise, it wasn't going to be genuine. But I get it now. I really get it. But obviously, it's easy to say, but hard to implement. I need to kill the love. Same thing holds with my family, my blood relatives. We're not family. We don't have shared values with those people. They won't take care of my kids if I die, even though we're related. Meanwhile, I've got a friend or an associate or someone who feeds my kids every week, who's worried about the well-being of my kids, who wants to make sure I'm okay. That's my family. That's where my focus should be. Lindo Mapanga, God Penuel, you are a genius, bro. Eye-opening every day. SA is a jungle. I guess it is survival of the fittest, yet foreigners think we live good here. I guess a good life to me is a different story altogether. Thank you very much, Lindo. Lindo. Thank you very much, Lindo. Lindo is the name of one of my half-sisters. And I was soze. Harmless opium. I just pulled up and now you're vying, bro. I'm vying. Say harmless. Say sorry, my Lani. Yo, yeah, I got a vying. Say there's no electricity here, so my phone's gonna cut. My network wasn't great, but I'm gonna do another video later. Bloodline Elite. Jordan Peterson has given the world the solutions to all its problems, and it's not just Jordan Peterson. There's a lot of solutions on YouTube. Lot. Like I said, I've got a lot of solutions as well. So, you know, Penuel, look at a guy called Martin Kenny who started his own tribe, the Penuel Foundation in Portugal. Tutuga Ntombela. I'll check it out. Thank you. Sean, I'm a whitey, bro. I figured, Sean, I can see your face there. Let's go have a lekker T-bone then. Oh, yes, let's eat meat. I can do that. But I don't drink beer. Curious K, Passover has passed. Pastors are smiling all the way to the bank. Hallelujah! Hallelujah! The church has made money this weekend. Yeah. Dumsani Mlambo, race is not anyone's doing. No one chooses what their skin shade and their hair texture they want to be born in, but everyone is accountable for their life choices. Imagine if you found out that my father, my grandfather was a serial killer and a serial rapist, and you know that I'm his grandchild. That means I have to carry that burden everywhere I go. No matter how much good I do, no matter how much I try, it'll always be like, but your grandfather was a monster. That's how a lot of white people feel. And yes, they must own it. That's your grandfather. You must be like, yes, I agree. My grandfather was a monster. I agree. I fully agree. But I, as his grandchild, would like to do things differently. Doesn't mean I'm going to give you all my privileges, because that doesn't make sense, which is what some white black people want. Yeah, but give us all. I'm not going to give that to you. I like my privilege. But maybe we can work together so that we can work together with what I have, so that if I have a hectare of land, because I'm a privileged white person, you as a black person, come onto the land. Let's try and grow this 1 hectare of land to 10 hectares, and then we can enjoy it and become rich together. That's kind of how it's meant to work. But somewhere along the way, we kind of lost it. Obviously, some of the blacks that got it, the black BEE fat cats, they're happy with their white mates. They're rich. They play golf on weekends. So, Mos Nkhuasheng, Saki Matozo, Mamzi Kumalo, Lazarus Zim, those guys kind of get it.
but they didn't teach it to the rest of us. Instead, they rely on the rest of black people to beef with white people, because it's only when we're divided and not working with whites that they get to keep their power. If poor blacks and poor whites worked together, as an example, they could set up their funds and build their own stores and create jobs for themselves. Now they don't have to beg rich blacks and rich whites for jobs and those things. But they need you to be divided. They need you to fight against each other so that you're like, oh, let's vote Action SA, let's vote DA, let's vote Freedom Front Plus, let's vote. It works to their favor. That's why I'm telling you, politics is not the solution. The solution is with you and your people. Anyways. Banks are criminals, says South Africa is my home. I agree. Okay, I've reached the end of the comments. Guys, thank you so much. I really enjoyed reading your comments. I appreciate your support and listening to me and those cool things. Once the power's back, I'm going to make another video because I haven't gotten rid of what's burning in my chest. But for now, I appreciate you guys being here with me. Like I said, I'm using you guys as therapy, so I don't have to pay like 1,000 Rand for an hour to speak to a therapist. I'm speaking to you guys, and I appreciate it very much. I love you. If you understand me, and if you are of same mind, I love you very much. And if we haven't met already, I hope we will meet, and I hope we will work together, and I hope we will win together. I love studying the Jews. I love studying the Muslims in this country. I love studying some of the white Afrikaners in this country. They kind of have a good model. Unfortunately, yes, it's based on racial lines or nationality or religion. I guess that's why I set up Penuelism as well, because I wanted to create my own reference point. You don't have to be like, I'm a Penuelist or I believe in Penuel. You don't. I mean, it's just, I use it as a reference point so that it's easy. But if you look at some of my principles, you're like, no, man, I fuck with this dude. Let's work. You can be whatever you are, but if we share values and a vision, you're my people. And I love you very much. Guys, please stay safe. I'll chat to you guys a bit later. Cheers.